Velete, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. AES is winning. AES has won Togo big time. And when we look at what is happening currently in our continent, nobody will tell us that the president of Togo, Fonya Sungbe Yadama, has now shifted away from the traditional way of doing things to the brothers in Mali, in Niger, and in Burkina Faso. When you look at all the steps that this man is taking, is to make sure that the Malians, the Burkinabés, and the Nigerians don't suffer. In his recent address, he made it clear to the Ecowas leaders, you see what is happening in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Let's not sit down and fold our arms thinking that this is the problem of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. These activities that are destabilizing our brothers, it's not their fault. It's not because they are led by military. That's why they're having these TT activities. And whatever that we are watching happen in these countries without helping to fight or quench the fire, it will spread to all of us. So the time for us to put our differences aside and work together as a people is now. Let's support them fight against these TT activities because they never created them in the first place. These things are imposed on the African. So, the time for us to start seeing ourselves as one people is now. When you look at the leader of Togo these days, Fonya Sungbe Yadama, we know we have not all liked this man because of the way he has been in power for a very long time. But now when you look at what is happening across the continent, nobody will tell you that him being in power for this long time has also helped the leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso when they were asked to close down their ports to Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso because they are landlocked and they need these ports. Togo decided that they were not going to close their port. And it is under the leadership of Onyasumbe Yadama. They opened their port. And we can see that ever since that port has been opened, it has made the AES leaders to get everything that they want. And people's plan against how they wanted them to be choking and things will be so difficult for them and they will have no other way than to come back into the block before they can have access to the port to get what they want failed. And things started rising. We saw the beef that has started. Like one time I showed you a video whereby Professor Franklin was explaining all these things. And we are seeing that they are asking him to step down. Finally, Ecowas is saying that he has ruled for long. There was a constitutional coup. And for that matter, he has to step down.
Listen, Mr. President, I leave you the floor. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I would like to start with, tell you in the name of the crown that accompanies me, to my own name, but also to the name of the Togolese people. Thank you of the welcome you reserve for us today, of your availability, every time it comes, to talk about the problems that concern us all, those of the sub-region, especially the fight against terrorism, which today can no longer be seen as a problem, or from Mali or Burkina, or even Niger, but it becomes one sub-regional problem, one problem of CIDE. And I think that we must do everything to avoid on both sides and perhaps go off the beaten track. We must continue to consult between us head of state but also with the transitional authorities because these are transient situations who will have to spend and we are obliged to work to discuss with those who are in charge right now, but keeping in mind that what is important, it's peace, it's security. Our agenda is essentially one economic agenda. The caves, we know today, we want it to be one parenthesis, one short parenthesis. Rather, we will find solutions and customs, and the better it will be for us.
But these same people were there when this man did the constitutional coup. All of a sudden, we are seeing that the man has been in office. It was a constitutional coup, so for that matter, he has to step down. And if you have watched that video whereby Professor Franklin Nyamson was giving the analysis of why now they are all on his neck that he has to step down because he has done a constitutional coup, you understand. The man has just said it all. Africans, we need to unite as a people. For us to fold our arms when something happens to a country, And we think that because we are not part of that country, so for that matter, we will not all come together to fight against that thing, is what is helping other people succeed in our continent. When we are supposed to unite to fight, that's when we are dividing, showing our differences. This is exactly what people want the African to be, whereby we can never unite. Fragmentation, divide and conquer. We know all these things. Even when our leaders meet in their summit, they talk about these things. But when it comes down to them putting these things into practice, it becomes a problem. And if the leader or the president of Togo can openly tell the world or our leaders that you see what we are experiencing or what we are seeing in our brothers and sisters countries, and we are folding our arms thinking that it has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with us. Let's unite and help fight against these things. When these TT were destabilizing them, even when the foreign troops were there, we never heard our leaders being vocal that the TT were destabilizing, yet we have these foreign people in our countries trying to fight against them. They were silent. But the moment we have these leaders who have come into office fighting and doing everything possible to rescue their people from these things and take their sovereignty into their own hands, we have Ecowas activating a standby force to go and fight against their brothers and sisters, simply because they believe that a military man cannot lead. Is it that we are looking for leaders who will change the narrative in our countries, or we are looking at the attire or the color of it? Let's be sincere. Ever since these people came into office, they have done amazing things. The recent report from IMF showed us the growth rate in Mali, in Niger, and in Burkina Faso. Not any of these democratic elected countries is closer to them when it comes to development. It was the same IMF that told the whole world how these nations wouldn't move forward and how they wouldn't be able to survive even 6 months. They bypassed that. They came into office. They are fighting these CT activities. They don't have peace to talk about whatever, like the way other people are preaching peace and how peaceful their countries are. Yet, when it comes to economic growth, they are moving faster than any of them. That one, we don't see Ecowas talking about it. What we are telling our leaders now is we are not looking at leaders who are either democratic or whatever. Democracy has been a system that was imposed on us. Like P.O. Lumumba will ask us, when you take the word democracy into your own language, what does it mean? We decided to coin phrases just to explain this term, but we do not have it. And because we do not have it, we don't understand it. That's why we are here and we are not moving forward. For all these years or decades that we have known this system called democracy, what has been the fate? And that's why we are seeing that today the youth are so fed up with that system called democracy. We haven't seen any tangible result. We are having leaders like P.O. Lumumba, Mamponga, Dr. Arikana, and a whole lot of people advocating for a change and calling us to go back to the traditional way of doing things. And we are seeing that happen in Burkina Faso, whereby they are sending us back to our roots. Africans are the only people in the whole wide world that have decided to throw everything of ours away. And we keep holding on to systems and things that we do not understand. We just want to be other people instead of being ourselves. And because we are trying to be other people, that's why we can unite to even fight when these same people unite and come into the continent. Because we have to do everything possible in our power to police other people. Now is the time that Africans need to unite. What is happening started, like the president of Ghana said it, Algerian president is saying it, started from Libya. And look at where it has reached. And this means that it will not only end here. If the leaders in Mali and Niger, Burkina succeed in chasing them out, you should know that they'll have to relocate. But if we all come together collectively as a people and chase them out of our continent, we'll have a better Africa for ourselves. So, what are your thoughts about what the president of Togo, for Nyasungbe Yadama, has just said? Is this the way forward, or we still need to be pointing fingers at their military leaders? So for that matter, whatever that is happening, they brought it upon themselves. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in Togo.